G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the game which is between Geelong and Richmond MCG, a big game Friday night, and it was the Tigers getting the job done by 24 points in the end, in what was a tough night for the Cats, and the Tigers wound back the clock, which not many saw coming. I definitely thought it was going to be tough without a lot of our quality players out of the side. Obviously, acknowledging Richmond had a few injuries as well, and some key players out. But I think a couple out too many for Geelong definitely didn't help across the night. And it was a tough night at the office, frustrating game to watch as a Cats fan. Seeing Richmond just take every single chance known to man, and you can clearly see that scoring shots, we outscored them for scoring shots, but they were more efficient and more accurate with the ball, and probably had slightly better looks going forward, which leads to being able to kick more accurately. So that helps out a lot. But look, we had some chances earlier. As you can see, 9 scoring shots to 6, and they kicked all of them, of course, because that's just how it goes sometimes. When it's your night, it's your night. We had our chances, and I think the numbers will speak to us playing well, but what we probably lacked that class and that polish throughout the night, and it just didn't quite land our way. Richmond's pressure was top notch. It was really good. Their ability to sort of make us pay on turnover and create turnover from their pressure. It was Richmond of old, that's for sure. Probably the best game they've played since the 2020 Grand Final, to be honest. Because they've had probably not their best 18 or so months. Always seem to wind back the clock and play their best footy against us. They always line us up. We'd won the previous 5 against the Tigers, but I think probably 10 players out of our best 22 is not ideal. Again, Richmond have a few out. Doesn't also help when you've got some interesting umpiring decisions or non-decisions being paid as well. There was so many instances where Stewart got pinged for a hold, and if that was the case, then there'd be free kicks. I think Hawkins would have kicked 2,000 goals if the hold he paid for Mansell. Cameron got thrown around like a rag doll in 30 metres out. I could name a whole host of them, but the umpiring was very one way. Dusty pushed O'Connor in the back, fair and square. I could talk to my frustrations on the umpiring bit and piece. It just adds to the frustration when you're not playing well, is always when it feels like the umpires are against you. Umpires aside and dubious decisions aside, we weren't good enough on the night. I've spoken a bit about Richmond, a bit about the umpires. Our method, sort of moving inside 50, was a bit clunky at best. We were able to have some good moments and sort of challenge Richmond in that back half a little bit, but they were back to their best where we just had no time and space. We struggled to sort of move the ball at times. Weren't able to really sort of compete with that pressure that they had. Our ground ball was sort of lacking at times, and that post clearance contested ball, which is probably the most important possession chain. Richmond on it more often than not, so we were sort of a little bit behind in that sense. Ultimately, we were inefficient on the night. Sometimes you kick 11-12, sometimes you kick 16-6. So it just all depends on how you sort of look at it. But they were able to get separation and isolation when they went forward. We weren't able to get much separation at all. It just felt like we had no time and space for most of the game. And it just weren't a lot of easy sort of goals that were just sort of they just sort of went through. And it's a bit of a concern I do have. We've conceded some pretty big scores, but then off the back of that, we've generally been able to counteract that. So Essendon kicked over 100 points, Richmond kicked over 100 points. I reckon Collingwood did as well. So we have conceded a fair bit, but full well knowing we can generally make the team pay on the other side of the fence when we get it on our terms. Tigers had it on their terms for more often throughout the game, and and were able to get maximum damage on the scoreboard. Their leaders really stood up, and you could probably see from Geelong's side of things, we had a lot of young players, and probably the youngest side we've played in terms of probably the first time in a long time that we've had a team that's been older than us. A lot of youth out there, which is exciting, but weren't able to sort of get the job done. The Tigers, who again, they're moving in the right direction. Looking at the numbers, so we got more of the footy than the Tigers. Inside 50s were about neck and neck there. Disposal efficiency was generally ours is probably more in that 70 to 75% mark. So that's quite significant in terms of the overall grand scheme of things. But that was off the back of Tigers pressure. Both teams sort of weirdly struggled inside 50. But when the Tigers had their chances, they took them. We didn't. That's about where the game lies. And overall, I don't see this as a massive, in terms of the personnel we had out. We were competitive. We probably didn't have that ferocity that we'd like to see. But you're not going to win 22 games straight. That's not really feasible. But I do, I've seen this all before. We've been 5-4 before. That ended pretty well last year. I don't expect us to be playing our best footy right now, and definitely don't expect us to play our absolute best with 10 of our best players out. But that's all good. Thought I'd throw to that as well. Free kick count, don't get me started on free kicks. I'll absolutely lose my mind. It's not. I'm not even being subjective. I'm being completely objective. There was Jared Healy and a whole bunch of other commentators were pretty savage on the umpiring, especially that Dusty one late. It's frustrating especially when you are struggling already. You just need a few things to sort of go right. That's when the umpiring's at its worst, is when you're struggling. It's never when you're winning by 10 goals. One thing hit out, sort of battle there. Clearances was really impressive, but Tigers' pressure and our clearances probably weren't as effective as we'd like it to be. But in what was probably one of our sort of younger midfield lineups, it's a good job there on the purely on the numbers point. But that last kick inside 50, we struggled throughout the night. Couldn't really find too many targets there. 15 cent clearances to 11, 32 to 21. So again, did well around the ball. Probably that first position was great, and then not so much after that. Contested ball, really good. So you look at some of these numbers, and we've done a lot right. But unfortunately, ineffective, inefficient. When we had control of the game, we just didn't get on the scoreboard, and that's credit to Richmond's defensive mechanisms throughout the match. They outmarked us. We let them mark the ball a lot. We took 94 marks inside 50, 15 to 13. So, about where we normally sit. We're left for 1 minute, and the Tigers control the rest of it. It's pretty unusual. Tackles, Tigers led the charge there. Inside 50 tackles for us was really good there, 11. So that's a real positive to see that forward pressure. Doing nicely. Alrighty, well, let's have a look at how we went in terms of the numbers and votes and whatnot. Get the 3 to Radagalier, so he's all the way down here. He had 12, 4 marks, a couple of tackles in there. And again, the numbers don't read incredibly, but I thought his intercept game was really good. He cut off a lot of the footy when he did, and there was times where I was like, he's literally holding that back line down at the moment, him and Tom Stewart. So, I thought his game was very sound. He got the 2 votes against the Crows. I feel like if Radagalier and defenders are getting in the votes, is a little bit concerning because it means the ball's down there too much. But love Radagalier's game. I thought he fought on very well. For the 2 votes, I've gone Tom Stewart. He was super in the first half, went a little bit quiet in the second half, put a bit more work into him. He had the 24, 11 marks, so he was rock solid down back over nearly 600 metres gained there. He affected so many contests and took a stack of marks. He was very sound behind the ball and played really well. Heard a few boos going on, so that must have meant he was getting a bit of the ball. The one vote, I'm going to go Tommy Atkins. It was probably between Atkins and Myers. Myers very stiff not to get a vote, but yeah, Atkins has been putting his hand up. Lately, he got the 24, 6 tackles, 6 clearances, a couple of goal assists as well, which was very nice to see. Yeah, I thought he's always really tough on the inside there. Helped us extract the ball a fair bit. 6 clearances, I think that's leading clearances for the team, as my mouse does not want to scroll back up. And yeah, I thought he played a really good role for us. He always does. He always cracks in and set up a few scores himself. You can see 12 points off the back of his ball use. Yes, I've done the one vote. I was about to say the one vote, and he's the man. This was surprising. Mitch Duncan had a goal, which was a very nice goal, 25 and 10 marks. I'm very interested to see his ball use. 80% efficient. Did not feel like it. Maybe it was different on telly, but I felt like at the game he just looked off. I don't know how he can be the leading in the AFL fantasy side of things. And yeah, like he got a few clearances there, a few tackles. Maybe if I'd had a look over on the actual TV, it might be different. But yeah, it just felt like he was sluggish and still at times not using the ball to great effect. But we'll see how he goes. I picked him for 25 and 10 marks against the Crows, and he's got it this week. But yeah, I'll keeping a close eye on Mitch. I hope he's going okay. I hope he's not still injured. I'm sure he'll get better as the season goes on, but we'll wait and see. Jessa was okay. Very well held by Broad. He kicked 1 goal, 21. Still took 9 marks and got a few clearances and was very well involved. 500 metres gained. Just, didn't quite get the time and space he'd usually get. Again, great defending from Richmond. We've talked about Richmond more than Geelong in this, I think. But, yeah, Jez was okay. Hopefully better next week against the Dockers. First time he's kicked just a single goal. He's kicked multiple every single week except this one. But, yeah, gave us some good run and carry and drive in that sort of half-forward midfield role at times. Siegel's game was really good. He got 14, 3 marks, 33 hit-outs. He was dynamic in that stoppage area. Also got 6 clearances himself, so, leading there with Atkins. Yeah, played quite well for us, I felt. Definitely gave us some ascendancy around that sort of midfield. With not the strongest midfield in the world from the Cats' standpoint. Gave us some really good looks in the stoppage, but post-stoppage was left wanting for the Cats. Tui was okay, I felt. He had the 18. He scored a point there as well. 6 marks. He had a nice mark half forward. So, yeah, 3 clearances, goal assist. Yeah, back to some better form for Tui. Played well. And, some good drive from Zach, as he loves to do so. Myers kicked a few points. 21, 5 marks, 4 clearances for him. Yeah, he was really good. Ball use was electric, elite. I felt really good, sort of that connector up the ground. Did quite well, but again, we didn't really take our chances up forward. Blitzarves was all right. He kicked a goal, had the 16, and a bit of ruck work there, a few hit-outs, 4 tackles, some clearances. Yeah, look, it was okay. It was solid. Not his best game of all time, as we can see. But yeah, cracked in there in the stoppage, that's for sure. Isaac Smith was handy. He kicked a goal, had the 23 touches next to his name, 3 clearances, also handed 1 off, and that was good. Yeah, some better form from Izzy. Always gives us plenty of run and carry, and yeah, good to see him hit the scoreboard as well. Never was good. He had the 16, 6 marks, great hands, overhead grabber, old Mitchy boy. He was pretty handy in that department as well. Also got a clearance. Yeah, looking the goods. Very good mark for a man of his size. And yeah, showing the fans what he's made of. Max Holmes had the 17, a couple of marks in there, 4 clearances, 4 tackles, 3 clearances. Yeah, he's definitely had better games, but yeah, again, he always tries his best, and hopefully we can see Max get more of the ball, see him in the inside mid a bit more, and give him the best chance there. Tanner Bruin was good. He kicked 1 goal, which was a very nice goal late in that last quarter. 19 disposals, lots of kicks there, which we like to see. 3 marks, 4 clearances, and also handed one off. Almost 500 metres gained. He loves to gain territory with his ball use. Probably his best game for the Cats so far, I think. And that's from 60% game time. So they like giving Tanner and Paddy sort of similar game time. And, good output from Bruin. Hawkins was good early and not so good as the game wore on. But he ended up with 3, had 11 touches, 5 marks, some hit-outs in there as well, 2 goal assists. So, I mean, he's had a hand in 5 goals. It's probably a pretty good game. If you look pure at the numbers, on the night, being at the game, watching on, it sort of felt like he was weighing carry early and then not so as the game wore on. But, still a good output from Tommy Boy. It was probably the mistakes outweighed, at least it felt in the moment, of the frustration that it outweighed all the good that he had done as well. Could have been more goal assists. Anyway, O'Connor, it was handy. He had the 13 touches, 4 marks, 3 clearances. Sort of tagged Bolton a little bit. Sort of went near Dusty. He was okay. He had a go at it. Hughes had 14, 3 marks, couple of tackles. I don't believe Richmond absolutely torched us on the ground. I don't recall a small forward. Well, Trent Cotchin kicked 3. I don't think he was on him directly, but Hughes had a decent go at it. Bit of run and carry from halfback, and he normally takes the game on. Sam Simpson, silky man, Simpson, kicked 1, a nice snap in that second term. We really needed it. 14, next to his name, a couple of marks in there. Played a good chunk of the game and getting some experience under his belt. So Simpson was all right. Mentioned Radaglia, Parfitt. I feel like I say this every time he's playing in the team, but he shouldn't be in the team. And I think if he is to be in the team, maybe we're that desperate on numbers that we had to go to him. But quite honestly, he should never play in Geelong's team ever again. Big stage, Friday night he's played half the game there, but 10 touches. Like, what? If you're not getting the ball, if he's not getting the ball, what are you doing? And when he does get the ball, he turns it over every time. And he is slow and he gets tackled. It's nothing personal. It's just what I see, and I don't see him in our best team. And he was. I'm not going to go there. Not going to say that. He made his way in the grand final team last year. I would have rather been a goal over crack, but it's more so just seems to be the same pattern over and over again. I know he probably needs a good crack at it, but he seems like a liability to me. Guthrie had 11 and a couple of marks. Didn't probably get as much of the footy as he normally would, and not as much control in the air. A couple of tackles in there. Thought he was okay there. Even set up a goal as well with his work from halfback. Dempsey was all right. He had 11. Missed a couple again. Some hopefully can get a few through soon. 3 marks, goal assist as well. A nice handball to Izzy, which ended up in a goal. I mean, Cole Jasny didn't get a lot of the ball either. He had the 10, 5 marks. He was solid down back. Nothing super special from the game himself, but that's it. I can't recall too much that happened that was crazy. Ollie Henry, relatively quiet, ended up with 2. Loves to kick a bag of 2 each week. Most weeks he's got 2 next to his name. Lock it in. 7 touches there, a few marks as well. Nice one in that second term. Like to look at Jai Clark. Again, he was only on for sort of a quarter, but he ended up with a 6, 5 tackles. So some really good stuff on the inside mid. Got a clearance as well for his good work. Play this, man. Do not play Parfitt. Clark's the way to go. So put Parfitt as a sub if you absolutely have to break glass. Otherwise, get Clark, get some time into him. He's going to be the future if he keeps up that good work. All right, so that leaves us at 7th on the table, I believe. So just hanging in inside the top 8. But yeah, we've been here before. Now, it doesn't mean we're winning 16 in a row. But yeah, we're 5-4 last year. We turned a corner and we looked pretty ordinary, pretty average. Turned a corner there. It's going to be a much tougher season this year. And, we're not going to win 16 in a row again or 17 in a row. It need to be for the extra round this season. But what I do know is when we get to a stage, we've got Stanley back, Dangerfield, Guthrie, Stengel, Close, Rowan. Could be missing a few other players there as well. DeConing, these guys, it'll be looking a lot better. It does require a lot of luck, a lot of things to go your way, and have availability of your best list. And we did late last year through managing players. So yeah, we've got a pretty tough assignment now. It looks like coming up next week. I mean, depending on how good or bad Sydney are. But yeah, the Dockers will be up and about at Optus. It's going to be very tough game with their current form. I'm leaning towards Fremantle. I mean, I think we could win, and I think Close is back in the thick of it next week because he was only out for a week with that suspension, and hopefully we can get some players back soon. Jack Henry I missed as well, that to come back into our side. But yeah, I'm leaning more towards Fremantle just with their current form at the moment, and over there, and we probably have looked, maybe some signs have shown a little bit with Bombers sort of coming back into the game. Crows, we kind of got away with it a little bit there, sort of late. We were good late, but the Crows definitely didn't really give us much time or space all day. And then Richmond coming out of the blocks there. I mean, a little bit of an indictment for Richmond that it's taken them 9 rounds to start playing some decent footy, but and they seem to be conditional in their effort when it comes to different types of teams they play, and seemingly Geelong, they try their hardest to beat Geelong every time, but good on them this time. But whether they make finals or not, we'll see. But good on them for getting the job done over the Cats. Very tough assignment though over there. And we'll go back here. So it was Richmond by 24. Cats go to 5-4, sitting 7th on the table. So guys, hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe away as well. And I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks again, guys. I will see you all on the next video.